So yesterday was a very long, hard lesson in remembering to take care of my metal tools, my metal objects. I had a furniture dolly that was a little rusty, and I kind of ignored it for a while, and over the winter it got rustier, so I took a wire brush wheel on a drill and I cleaned it up, and then I sprayed it with rust reformer. And then next dry day we have, I'm going to paint it, and it should be good for a while. I also had a tiny little camping wood stove that got rusty, and cleaned that up, and that was a real miserable task because there's parts inside that I still can't get to. And even though I have to reach inside, there's like a grill you can't remove, and underneath the grill there's a rusty spot where you put in the ashtray. And so I have to find some way to get the rust out of there. I think there's a liquid rust remover you can get, which is just an additional cost on top of, I paid, $110 when I bought it, and now I have to spend probably another, $20 or $30 to get something to get the rust out. Not really thrilled about that. That's my own fucking fault for not taking care of it, right? After using that stove for what I needed it for, should have probably cleaned it and then put a little thin layer of oil in it, right? Could be whatever, and be ready to go again. I recently went to someone put out free stuff, getting rid of a bunch of nails and screws and jars. People collect these things in jars, and also old screwdrivers and shit. Rusty. There's rusty scissors, and I didn't take the scissors. And it seemed like it'd be too much work to fix those, but I got some screwdrivers, and I got to clean those up next. It's so much work to maintain tools. I suppose you have the proper storage environment and storage habits, then once your tools are cleaned up, you're fine, right? You just whatever. Yeah, just get a little bit of oil on a rag and just a thin wipe, just a wipe on the tool, once a year or something, whenever you use it. After you use it once that year, you wipe it and you're done, and you'll be fine till next time, right? Probably. And I was thinking about gas rationing. Now, I don't know if we'll get to rationing here in America, given the amount that we produce, but it could very well be rationing by price, not so much by diktat. And so, fuel might get really, really expensive, and mowing lawns for people is going to become expensive. But if I get myself a mechanical mower, one of those drum mowers, or even a scythe, and learn to use it effectively, then I could cut lawns without using gas. And if we ever got to a point, which I don't think we will here in New Hampshire, but whereby they declare that no operating gas mowers ever. It's not allowed until the fuel emergency has passed, right? That might be something that goes in a place like California or New York or Illinois or some other such place. But if it were to happen here, then that would definitely give me an advantage. The mechanical mower would definitely be allow me to keep working, maybe even pick up some business, right? If the landscapers end up taking a shit, and I don't want them, all right? I don't want the other people who do landscaping or lawn care in my town to suffer. I don't. But if they do, then there's a chance for me to pick up some work, right? Now, since some maintenance involved with these things, you got to sharpen the blades, you got to oil it and whatnot, but at least they don't run on gasoline, which is a positive thing. I also have I have a Ego electric mower that broke down last year. I used it for about a month, and it took a dump. It still drives forward, but the blade don't spin. There's some electrical problem that I suppose I could debug. I'm not taking it to a lawnmower repair or electronics repair place because it'll charge me more than the mower to fix it. It's one of those things I think you fix it yourself or not at all. And I got 2 decent batteries for it, so if I can't fix the thing, I suppose I could get an inverter for those batteries and then use them as a power source, right? 56 volts at whatever, 7.5 amp hours, so 7.5 times 56, whatever, over 350 watts. and it's high voltage. Maybe I could. I don't know if it's possible. It'd probably take a bit of study to learn to convert that as a battery pack for like an e-bike or something. So yeah, hard lesson on maintaining tools. I never was very good, when I was young. I wasn't a hands-on person. I had to learn how to do a lot of things, like in my adult life, that would have been easier to learn in my childhood about handling tools. And never liked handling tools. I knew guys who just loved turning wrenches. Like, I'm turning a bolt. Ooh. And the guy used to open up his multi-tool, and he just gets so excited, his eyes would light up as that thing's clicking and clacking, and he's looking for the tool on it, and he just... I don't get it. I've never, apparently, he's probably having a mental image of what he can accomplish with it, and it felt good to think that, and good for him if he felt good about it. I don't. It's just a tool, right? But if I was into tools and fixing things when I was young, then I'd definitely be a lot more competent today. It's been an uphill climb, learning to do all kinds of things. And it's been financially an uphill climb because I'm buying my tools now rather than like accumulating tools over the course of, age of 16 to now I'm in my late 40s. So, 30 years of tool acquisition, you have all kinds of stuff, right? Whereas versus like, shit, I got to get all these things. If I started learning how to fix cars when I was young, then I'd be able to fix my own car now, right? Now I have to go to a mechanic and pay whatever they pay, $120 an hour plus parts. I have friends that got good at fixing their own cars, and they just pay parts. A lot of time, and they were pretty insensitive to the amount of time they took. Like, whatever, take as long as it takes, and they'll spend, a week of their free time fixing a car. At least they did, right? I've probably gotten better at it since then, and then they got it fixed, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? If you can't do it fast, you do it slow, right? If you can't do it like a genius, you do it like a retard, and whatever, you just do it. And if we have material shortages, like if there's a shortage of aluminum or whatnot, prices are going to be higher and things are going to get more expensive and steel become more expensive. So it'd behoove me and you probably just to take really good care of the tools you got, because one, it's expensive to repair, and two, you may not be able to replace them. I think about, you have the stereotype, go back 200 or 300 years, old dude living in a shack in the woods. He's got, 10 tools on the wall, but it's all he needs, right? And he takes care of them. He's got a couple saws, he's got a draw knife, he's got a hatchet, he's got an axe, he's got an adze, he's got, a couple other things, and you build everything you need with that shit. And as long as you take care of it, especially because it's made of good steel that you can maintain yourself, and if you need wooden handles, well, you have the tools to make wooden handles. You're good. You're good to go. Self-sufficient person, in the woods or on the edge of the woods in your hutch, got your hoe, you got your rake, you plant your garden, take care of your chickens, be a crazy old coot in the woods. You just take care of your shit. And since there's nothing else to do, you got plenty of time to take care of your shit. Like just, hey, sharpening and oiling my tools is just, that's a Tuesday. But we have a modern technological society, and we get a lot of stuff done for us. So, like old Uncle Ted Kaczynski. Hey, YouTube, I'm saying Ted Kaczynski. We have these surrogate activities that we do instead of just, spending the afternoon sharpening and maintaining our tools. Yep. Because that's all I got to say. Just a ramble about tool maintenance. Thanks for watching.